Shalom, shalom. I do want to start off this lesson by saying all praises to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, for giving me the opportunity to do this lesson. I do want to give double honors to the elders and apostle of Great Millstone for teaching the truth by using precepts upon precepts and line upon line. This lesson I do want to get into today is about Russia being forced to go back to its old ways. All right. And how is it being forced is, by America. And that's going according to prophecy. The book of Ezekiel chapter 38, straight to the point of verse 4, it says this, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. All right. All right. And who is he talking to? To Russia. All right. The Prince the Slovakia, Gog of Magog. All right. Magog of Gog of Magog, Slovakia. I don't even know how to say it properly. But right here, let's go straight to the point, man. Let's read the verse up to down. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1 says this. And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and the land of Magog, that's Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, BAHASHAM Yahawashi, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, and chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I'll turn thee back and put hooks unto thy jaws, meaning that he's going to bring Russia back to its Soviet ways. He's going to bring them back to its Soviet power. And that's basically what's happening right now, where Yahweh Shai is forcing Russia to become its old ways, its old violent ways. Because back in the days in Soviet Union time, Russia was a violent nation. All right, they was forced to reckon with. If you attacked Russia, Russia will probably bombardate you multiple times. All right. To be honest with you, the reason why World War I ended and World War II ended so fine as it did was because of Russia. Russia was the reason why those war ended swiftly. All right. So that should put a mind or perspective for some people out there to understand how powerful Russia is, or and how detrimental this is to prophecy. Because as soon as Yahweh Shai basically brings Russia back to its old Soviet ways, what's going to happen is that they're going to go to war with America. And they're going to do the same thing that they used to do back in the days. World War II, World War I, the same way how they treated their enemies, they're going to do the same thing to America. They're going to bombard America, shoot nukes. They're going to do everything in their power to make sure America be destroyed. And that's basically what's going to come to pass. Verse 4, I will turn thee back and put hooks unto thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy enemies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of ornaments, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So basically Russia's gonna be prepared for war. Book Joel chapter 3 talks about how the nation shall be gathered up for war. Or get your pruning hooks, get your spears, because what Yahweh Shemashai is going to gather them and divide Jehoshaphat, where they're going to fight it off, and ultimately he's going to judge them for their wickedness, and that's basically what's about to come to pass. All right, continue on. Verse 5 and says this: Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them all of them with shields and helmets, and that's basically the Middle East. 6. Gomer and all his bands, and house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands and his many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself. What? World War 3. Revelation chapter 11 verse 14 says, the third woe passed, and third woe cometh quickly. Slakia, that's the third woe passed. The second woe is past, and that's talking about World War II, but third woe cometh quickly. Talking about what? World War 3. And that's basically what Yahweh Shemashai is saying to Russia. Be prepared, because World War 3 is going to come to pass, where you're going to be, basically buckled up to go to war in it. So be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company, thou art assembled unto thee, and be thou our guard unto them, be protected to the Middle East. Or from who? From America, because America is a destroying nation that keeps on, bombing the Middle East, persecuting them, and ultimately, America is about to join Israel into the war of Iran. All right, and Iran is going to be defenseless. So who's going to protect Iran? Who's going to protect the Middle East nation? Russia is. All right. So you can see how prophecy is actually being led up right now. and how Yahweh Shai is basically bringing is putting the hook on Russia to be back to its old ways, and that's happening right now. All right, Russia's being pushed to the point where they have no choice to go all out. All right, and they're in a point where they're about to be all out. They basically about to show fulfill what Yahweh Shai want them to to do. And what do Yahweh Shai want Russia to do? He wants Russia to ultimately nuke America for its wickedness. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. Let's go to verse 25. And it says this: Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, which destroys all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. So what is a destroying mountain? A destroying mountain is metaphorical for America. Why is America considered a destroying mountain? Because America is a nation that destroys other nations 24/7 through political ideologies, through strange philosophies, even through bombings. That's why America is considered as a destroying mountain. But what does the scripture says? It says what? I'm against thee, meaning that Yahweh Shema Shai is against America. He's not here to be with America. He didn't bless America with Trump because he wanted America to thrive. He blessed America with Trump so he could judge it quicker. That's what he did. And evidently that's what's happening. Every time Trump talks is another nation against America, fulfilling prophecy. Let's continue on, verse 26. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundation, but thou shalt be desolate forever, said the Lord Yahweh Shai. Verse 27. Say up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nation against her, call together against her the king of Ararat, Minini, Ashenaz, appoint a captain against her, cause a horse to come up as a rough caterpillar, meaning many men. So basically, it says set a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nation against her. Basically, prepare for war. Because what's going to happen is that Russia and her allies is going to come up against America with her allies, and there basically is going to be a World War III happening. Verse 28: Prepare against her the nation with the kings of the Medes. All right, who was the Medes? The Russians. So the nation is going to be going to war with Russia, being there, steadfast, and call out Yahweh Shema Shai. The phone had a chime on that. But it says, yeah, that's basically what's going to come to pass. The captain thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. Verse 29, and the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai shall be performed against America, to make the land of America a desolation without inhabitants. So what's going to come to pass is that what? Every purpose that Yahweh Shema Shai wants to happen to America is going to be performed. All right, and that's basically what's going to happen next. All right, right now we're seeing Yahweh Shema Shai at work, putting the hooks on Russia mouth to bring it back to its old ways. Because as soon as it becomes its old ways, and as soon as it has that mentality, it's gonna go straight hands on America. There's not gonna be no if buts when. They're not gonna hold back. They're gonna go full throttle. Back in the days in World War I, World War II, Soviets they didn't care who were the enemies. They went full throttle, and that's what's gonna happen in this day and age. Russia, or Russia used to be the Soviet Union. They're gonna go back to their old ways, the Soviet Union, and they're gonna go full throttle against America. And is America going to win? Of course not. They're not gonna see. They're not gonna. There's no way America's gonna win this war. All right, America man is not a man anymore. America power. I remember there was an interview with some Marine, specialist. They said that half their jets don't even work. Some of their military equipment is not even up to date. And the reason why that's so is because to repair a military weapon, like a tank or aircraft, it costs so much. Like a little screwdriver costs like probably 15K. A basic screwdriver, 15K. you know. And I'm being over dramatic. Obviously, that's not how it goes. But I'm just trying to say that. I'm just trying to emphasize the fact how expensive it would to just repair a regular jet. You know. And the reason why is because the company is hungry, hungry money hungry. for cash. So they're overcharging America for to fix it when it's just basic screwdrivers, you know. So that's basically what's happening. So America can't afford it, and half the military power is not gonna. So half their weapons not even working. American man is not being a man anymore, and they're gonna get jumped. That's basically what's about to come to pass. All right, but Lowell, you was edified. I thought it was cool to go into this lesson real quick because that's basically what's happening right now in this video I was watching from Canadian Prepper and call all y'all BAHASHAM 144. You know, because in this video he was basically going into how basically America pushed Russia to a corner. Russia is pushed to a corner. All right, they're pushed to a corner um, where they have no choice to retaliate back. They have no choice. They're getting pushed to a corner at every angle, and the reason why is because Ukraine is bombing their nuclear capabilities and basically taking away their defense, their only defense against major nations like America. And they got no time for that, you know. And the only reason why Ukraine is able to do so is because America is supplying Ukraine to fight back. So Russia is gonna, retaliate back, and he's gonna go berserk. Russia's gonna go berserk. They're not going to. They're going to be mad. They're not going to like what Ukraine is doing, what America is doing, and they're just gonna go batshit crazy. You know. You know how let's say a man that's getting persecuted all his life. As soon as he get an advantage to attack, he's going to go crazy because he's been hurt for all those time. And that's basically what Russia's gonna do. He's gonna be going crazy, and who's gonna be with him? Yahawah Bahasham Yahweh. Yahawah Bahasham Yahweh is gonna be with Russia in those days. He's gonna put the spirit upon Russia to shoot their nukes at America for its wickedness. All right, but that's all I want to get into today. Lord, you're edified by this lesson. I do want to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, QADASH for giving me the opportunity to do this lesson. I do want to give double honors to the elders and Apostle Great Millstone for teaching the truth by using precepts upon precepts and line upon line. Shalom.